Well, hi from the fort of Bellegarde in France. This fort was built in order to protect France from the Spanish, and we're just going down to a village called Pertus, or Pertus in Catalan, which is a village in two countries. And here I am in a village which is in two countries. This is Perthus, which is in France, Pertus. I'm going down to the centre-ville, and to do that I have to go down these steps. So I'm not going to film while I'm going down 85 steps. I'll show you the first few steps, and if I trip and break my neck, that'll be your fault. There's the mairie, or the town hall, which is also the school, the primary school I should add. And I'm just going to cross the road while there's no traffic, and that's looking down the hill. And the defibrillator tells us that we're definitely in Pyrenees Oriental. As you look up the hill, the shops are not particularly busy. A lot of them are shuttered, especially on this side of the road. But if you go down that way, you will see that it gets a little bit busier. And here we have a Spanish tobacconist, Tabacs. So I'm just taking a selfie of myself outside the Spanish tobacconist. The right hand side of the road is France, and the left hand side of the road is Spain. And the shop signs are in Spanish and they're more busy. And here we have a Spanish letterbox next to a French parking ticket machine. So the letterbox is Spanish, but the parking ticket machine is French. And beware, because if you buy a French parking ticket, you can't use it in Spanish parking spaces. There you are, there's a little trap for you. I'm just going in here for a coffee and a cake. So there's some nice pastries there. In this shop, which is typical of Pertus, is a Spanish supermarket selling stuff cheaply to French people. There are several shops like this on the Spanish side of the road. Notice in particular the bakers selling delicacies like croissants. Coffee, Spanish prices, really nice, about €1. And a chocolate muffin, excellent. French people come here to buy alcohol, in particular pastis. Oh, that's cheap. Goodness me, yes, I'm going to take a litre back with me. Ricard, €15 a litre, that's not bad. Yeah, that's my favourite, Ricard. The reason it's called 5-1 is because the mixture is 1 part pastis to 5 parts water. So I don't know that one. Well, they have Spanish beers as well. Brewdog. I have to say I don't particularly like this place, but it is useful. Now down that way is where the frontier post is, which is not often used now as a frontier post. Let's have a quick look at that. And everybody's just driving straight through, which you can most of the time now, except when they decide to have checks. And there's another Spanish supermarket on the Spanish side of the road. That's the old Spanish village up there, which is fairly quiet. I don't think locals like to come out. There's a gap in the traffic, I don't know why. Let's have a look up here. And I'm happy to see this. On the Spanish side of the road, the Generalitat de Catalunya have installed a memorial to the refugees who used to come across here during the Spanish Civil War and the Franco period after. There are quite a few of these memorials in this area, some put up by the French government and some by the Generalitat de Catalunya in Spain. And you see there's nobody up there. Now this is a Spanish parking ticket machine which is only valid in Spain, so don't buy a ticket here and then try to park on the French side of the road. There you are, because we're in the Ayuntamiento de la Jonquera. That's how you know you're in Spain. And it's $1.55 for 60 minutes. I wonder how much it is in France. Well, on the French side of the road it's €2 for an hour. You can get half an hour for €1.50 if you're going to do all your shopping in half an hour. And the two machines are very close to each other. You can see the Spanish machine is there, and that's the French machine. You do have to watch yourself here, because there are a lot of pickpockets and bag snatchers and everything, which is one reason why I'm always a little bit nervous coming here. And you see quite a few single men hanging about in the street. I'm not going to film any of them. Last year when I was here, there were normally French policemen walking up and down the street, but there don't seem to be any on duty today. Maybe there's something big happening somewhere else. There's a South American guy selling sunglasses, the Spanish letterbox again, and the French parking ticket machine like that. And behind me on the French side of the road is a shop selling replica football kits. So there you go. Gap in the traffic, and there's the Grand Hotel. You can stay there if you want. And I'm going to retrace my steps up to where I've locked my bike, so I can then cycle back to where I'm staying in France. The thing about this part of France is that it's very easy to go to Spain for shopping, for a cheap coffee, whatever else tickles your fancy. I think those kids are a bit fitter than me, but anyway. Ooh la la. And yes, my bike is still where I left it. That's good. Voila. Well, it's relatively tranquil up here, away from the mad Frenchmen buying all their things cheaply. A lot of them are buying 5-litre cans of olive oil. I didn't check the price, but no doubt it's cheap. Yeah, and behind me in that direction you can see some of the Albert Hills. Behind me in that direction I think you can see the Fort de Bellegarde, which guards France from the invading Spanish. Because at one time this part of France was Spain anyway. This is the Fort of Bellegarde, guarding France from Spain. And Spain is down there. There's La Junquera in the distance, and there's a wee sign there that says it's going to be restored. In the meantime you can walk around the outside at your own risk, which you probably wouldn't be able to do in Britain. And we're just below the Fort of Bellegarde, by the Cimetière Militaire of Panissars. And this was the military cemetery just below the fort, which dates from the 17th century and was restored in 2023. So that's my quick look at the village, which is in 2 countries. Most of it's in France, but a little bit's in Spain. Thank you very much. And you know, you can buy a coffee to reward me if you look at the link to Ko-fi, if you like my films. Thank you. Bye bye. I'd also like to take this opportunity of thanking some of my donors shown here on this slide.